Okay, so yeah, so we're trying to just resolve conflicts. I'll just go back. Most often than not. So I want to believe that, well, that most of us know how to resolve conflict. And I think that's why I am back to this point. I've actually gone beyond this, but I'm just here. So let's say, for instance, you pulled from, from dev, most often than not, that's where you'll be pulling from. And in your work, maybe somebody has updated something and merged, and it kind of conflicts with maybe the arrangement of code in your own, well, your local, yeah, in your local. So when you pull, you get some messages informing you of where you have these conflicts. So for me now, I have merge conflict in package lock.json. I have merge conflict in package.json. So when you go inside, when you go to that particular file, you get to see something, this kind of coloration. So you have current change. Current change is what you have on your local in your working directory. Then incoming, what you're seeing here, incoming is what is coming from dev, what you pulled in. So you now get to decide if you want to override what the person or what you're pulling. If I want to override, if I don't need this fossil react, I will accept current and fossil react will not be here. If I want to override Axios and remove Axios from here, I will accept incoming and override Axios. But if I want to keep both of them, I will just click on accept both changes. So these are actually, well, all them buttons or this thing that you can just use. You can just use them to either accept, yeah, to accept incoming or current. So for this purpose, since I want to keep both of them, I'm just going to accept both changes. That's the point I was trying to make. And please, for good practice, when you finish resolving a conflict, don't just jump into continuing with your work and all of that. So I need Git to take note of what I am doing at this instance. So I will just do I'll just do git add all resolved. So my commit message is resolved, if I know how to spell resolved conflict. After move there. So your commit message needs to be descriptive. Something I say every time, it needs to be descriptive. And then, so I can eventually, so I've committed this now. If I wanted to push to my branch now, I can push, or I can continue working on whatever I want to, or whatever I want to work on. So I needed us to just understand what I was trying to, what's the whole resolving conflict and doing a commit message after that. I needed us to just have that at the back of our mind. So I'm going to just run this npm on there. Okay. Oh, okay. So I have an issue here. And after resolving this conflict, still, I don't have photo react here. So I tried running it and it's now telling me that, well, that guy does not, photo react does not exist. So if you have a package, if you merge and then you have a package that is not, that is not installed on your local because, well, the way React does this thing and Not React, well, Git. We normally abstract the node modules when we are pushing to Git, because man, that file is seriously heavy. So what you just have is, okay, these are the dependencies that you need. So eventually when you pull it, you have to install a package so that it matches with what it is expecting. So React is expecting this for React and it's not available. So what do? I'll just do npm install just to update my package. And while that is happening, I can just kill this. Sometimes it will just update itself. So let this just finish. Okay, so if I do that, I just run this again. So it works.
So a quick question. Is this Brave browser better than Chrome?
Okay, what's happening here? Okay, so for me, it's actually lighter. Yeah, if you want to manage your RAM and all of that, it's actually lighter. What's going on here? Okay, so this is coming from, we have, we have a broken file somewhere, and I think that's from the about page. So Edwin, what happened?
Surround way.
Yeah, you said the file does not exist. So let me see, inside images. Okay, there's a vision here. And let's see, inside components. About components. Where is this? Components, about components. From the JSX. Okay. Okay. Let me see, is this actually images? Uh, you, what did you even do here? You didn't link this thing properly. Um, that's inside where assets, images. So you probably did some change, but then you didn't update that.
Okay, I was gonna change the folder. Okay, let me push it again.
Oh, don't worry. Already changed it here. So yeah, but then I'll just do it. Well, alternatively, sure. So, but that will mean that I have to push this and merge. So, but then I think maybe that's what I'll just do. So don't worry. So assets, images. Let me see. I hope my spelling is correct. Okay. So I think it's fine now. Yep. So, yeah, Barry, did you want to ask a question also? Okay. So,
Okay. Yeah. It's a contribution. Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to like explain how I actually handle my own conflict.
Okay.
Yeah. So first, what I do is if I'm pulling um from main, or
Okay.
let's say since this is dev, I pull from dev and then I switch to my branch. Then I do git rebase dev since it is dev, git rebase dev. So once I do that, I resolve all the conflicts. If I still have pending conflict, once I'm done resolving the conflicts, I do git rebase dash dash continue. So
Okay.
that completes the sequence, and then I do the git save, I mean git add, um git commit before I do git rebase continue. So
Uh,
that's how I handle mine. I
okay.
don't know if there's a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let me shock you. Anyway, I've actually not used rebates. Like since I've heard of it. I've heard of it, but most often than not, if I don't know why I feel like pulling and just looking it up. Okay, I'm trying to understand the sequence, how that works. Is it that dev just overrides what you have, or does it check for the differences when you use rebase? Does it check for the differences?
Yeah. When you actually run the rebase, it checks. Let's say you have like 7 conflicts, it loads like 1, 2. Then when it gets to, let's say you've resolved like 3 conflicts out of the 7, to stop at 3. So you have to resolve the remaining. Then when you're done, you do the git rebase continue. Any conflict you resolve, to continue counting, you will have like 1 left to stop there. So you go back, resolve it.
Okay, so well, I probably need to drop that sequence on the channel, I think. Need to drop uh, the steps to follow when you're using that. For me, the way I just do mine is just pull, pull from devs, and then if there are conflicts, you kind of just see them highlighted like that. Then it's up to you because if you check VS Code here, oh, okay, I've actually updated that. If you check when you pull and you have conflicts, it now shows it shows exclamation marks and all of that, red exclamation marks, and then you kind of go through those files. Alternatively, you'll see the files in the terminal here, like I showed earlier. And then based on that, you can now go individually to those files and then see the differences. So this is you look at the differences and then you pick whatever you want to stay and whatever you want to go. That kind of stuff. So that is my own way of handling it, but I think very soon I will have to try that rebase so that it doesn't feel so strange to me. So there's that aspect. That's a that's a good contribution. So just the steps, just put them on the Discord channel so that yeah, you can somebody can try it out. So yeah, so back to what Emmanuel, I'm trying to open your page. So what's the route? Slash what? Are you there, Emmanuel?
Hello, sir. It's in the what's it called? Is it components? I think it's in the component section.
Okay, is this it?
Yeah. That's it, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you said I wanted to be sure. You said I should do 3 rows, right?
Yeah,
Okay, but I don't know if you want it to be longer than this or something.
yeah, this is actually fine. Let's save it. Okay. All right. So I think this is good. On a smaller screen. We'll make it 100%. We have this smart here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. And then I think I don't know, if it's smaller, yes. The
Is it the
names are longer.
images or the
Yeah,
text?
no, there's the text I'm thinking about. I'm thinking
Okay,
on very small screens anyway. Just put one there, this thing.
okay, the text should be smaller, right? On a very small screen.
No, just put one card instead of two.
Okay, just one card.
Yeah, on very small devices, like yeah, 320, or you can just start on no, 45 a lot. Nothing a lot. Okay, this 45 shall.
Okay. So which means I'll just be having one card of it, just one.
Yeah, one card, just one card.
Okay. On 425, right? You said 425.
Yeah, or if you can go lower than that, you can actually go lower than that.
All right.
And, and it's on this 375 is fine, 375, 320, yeah, fine, small devices. Just to cater for if somebody's name is very long and all.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is fine. So far so good. Is there anybody's pull request? I haven't. Okay. Yeah, this 404 anyway. I don't even know if he puts the route where it's. So he did this. Did this. So is anybody ever going to come to this route? I'll just merge it for now. Merge it. So who knows how to handle 404 pages? Yeah, maybe just pull again. Yeah, so how do you handle yeah, if you have and I have another conflict, sort of messy. I have the juice. I have not found, and I have I do. What is the difference here? Okay, so we have this not found routes. Print or set current, and I'll just add his route here. And into that route here. And set current. All right, so I'm asking. When we have for like if someone wants to go to a site, a page, and we don't have that page on our browser, what happens? How do we manage that?
Isn't this routing? I think you have to route to the page as
Yeah,
well.
we have to. So we just have a blank screen like this. So how do we manage? Yeah, it's routing. But how do you how do you manage that route?
Isn't like we probably create a page for it, like in the pages section. Since we have like an home about, probably like an error page that you route. I don't know.
Right.
Okay,
But
I
there's
think
also a condition now. Like if it doesn't
Yeah.
um
Who
I think
wants
I
to
think
help me out?
I think it would have
Uh-huh.
been easier. For me, I really haven't done that, but I think it would have been easier if we had the page as a link on the nav bar or the footer, so we can just make some changes on the nav bar or the footer. But for this one, I this is not on the nav bar. This is not on the footer. There's no link to this.
yeah,
Okay.
I
to
was
make
I
it
was thinking
page
that maybe
it's just
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
condition. Like the issue is
Okay.
the condition. Like okay, because something has to happen for you to for the website to take you to the 404 page. Like there has to be an error. So that's just what I'm trying to think about. But I feel like if we were to make the page, it's just basically we'll probably just create a component, then add it to the pages section, then we style it, like design it, and then put it in the router. But then the condition that's I think I've done something like that before, Sha, but I just can't remember right now.
So the listeners, Abi Edwin, what do you want to say? Abi, who was speaking? I wanted to
I
say
was thinking
something.
that maybe we could like make a function that will check the part that if the part doesn't exist, then we'll automatically route it to the 4 page.
Well, are we not stressing ourselves too much, thinking about functions and all of that? So there's a way of handling that kind of thing. React already has that for you. And someone has already created a page that does that. But we have the part as 404 here. And I'm not sure there's anybody that will actually go to this 404 page. So I think if I still remember, I'll confirm this. You just need to put a wildcard here. And automatically it comes up. So even if I do whatever, it takes me to this page, right? Do you understand?
No, sir, I didn't understand what you did there.
Okay. So for so while you're creating your routes, you have to create, if you want a 404 page, create the page as, yeah, create the page normally how it will be. Then import it as he did. This is the not found page or component here. Then in your route, have a route that you just put asterisks, or they normally call this a wildcard. And then the component will be this component, this not found component. So unlike other pages, yeah, all these other pages, they are defined. They're defined. So when you route to it, you're able to get to that page because we have them here. But then when you don't have, if that page does not exist, it's going to fall back to this asterisk page, which will now display this component that we have, which is this 404 component. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. So that is it. And then you can go back this way. So I
So
think
please, can we test it out?
yeah, and this is what I've actually tested it out now. So let's say test is the page. I route to it. The test does not exist. So brings this up.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I have a question.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say we have a client now, and they actually expect us to, for this one, once for this 404, I believe once a page is not found, it will indicate by showing this 404, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Let's say we have a client now that um is actually expectant, like he wants us to wrap up a project in time, and then at every
Mm-hmm.
time he or she goes through the website, and now
Okay.
for every page we haven't completed, we are supposed to like have a work in progress instead of a 404.
Okay. Yeah.
So how are we going to fix that if, let's say, we have this 404 as well, and then
Yeah.
once,
So yes. So for those routes, you're just going to put in the component, the work in progress component. You're just going to do that because like those particular routes, since they're existent, so that is more like you're explicitly creating those routes because you want the client to know that I'm actually working on this. So you have to put that component for it for the meantime. Then for this 404 is just for pages that you don't have the routes. So the user actually just type in whatever came to the person's mind. So you're just using this to manage it. But if that route actually exists and you want the client to know that it's a work in progress, then you have to create a component that will display that and house it there. Anytime the client comes, he sees that instead of a photo. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So this is actually not the business of today. Yeah. So let's go into the business of today. So this was just, yeah, let's see how far we've gone. I don't know why we have two recruits here. Recruits, other, and this recruits is actually taking to another page. So either somebody did not resolve the conflict well or something. But I don't know.
I know
And then,
one of them was home. Then it's kind of changed.
okay, okay. So probably we need to look into that. Then I think I need somebody to work on this footer because yeah, I need somebody to work on this. And all of this rift is looking a lot on
Oh, that space, I don't know. I don't know. That space refused to leave. It just kept, I don't know.
this is a whole lot. This is a whole lot. Okay, so I'll come back to this. Let's just focus on what we have today. So somebody needs to work on the footer anyway. And yeah. All right, so today we are going into Axios. And since we started working with, well, we started working with what do they call it? With API. Have we worked with API? Yeah, we worked with API. So when you do your fetch, yeah, you put an endpoint and so on. So yeah. So what if you have to work on a project and well, or you're given a test and then they say instead of using fetch and all, just go straight and use Axios. Or think of a better way instead of using fetch. So I think that's where Axios comes in. So Axios is a promise-based HTTP client for Node.js and the browser. Well, in essence, you can use Axios to do your get, delete, updates, all of these things. So you can use it the same way you use fetch. So instead of you doing the whole bracket and doing method and all of that, you do it differently with Axios. So why am I even bringing up Axios? Yeah, eventually you're going to work with a backend and we need we need we need something that everybody can just use easily, something that you can just set up and everyone gets to use it. And so instead of just using fetch, some people just go straight and use fetch because it's pretty straightforward. You can actually just install Axios and set it up, and everybody gets to use it. Now, the reason one of the reasons I am even bringing it is because you kind of have this instance, this Axios instance where, let's say we have a particular URL, yeah, which is like the base URL. And then you just want people that, yeah, you want people that if you go to a particular page, or if you're to consume a particular endpoint, you just put a slash and then whatever this thing addendum you want to put, find I'm speaking so much English. Okay, so let's say for instance, yeah, I actually want to use that products, yeah, fake products API, yeah. So this is fake products API, and we're going to play around with. We're going to play around with this. So I'll just go to docs. So this actually gives us access to a couple of things that you can play around with. You can use this to build a product page. Like you can add, you can delete, you can just play around with this API. And well, I think at some point you guys will do that. So here we have this one, pretty straightforward. We have fetch and all of that. Now see what I am talking about. You have this URL. You have this slash this. So what if I just want to abstract this? Because most often than not, what people will do is that when they want to fetch or use an endpoint, they copy this whole URL and then have to put it in their code. So if I want to get all products, I copy this. If I want to get single product, I copy this. But remember that we are trying as much as possible not to be repeating ourselves. So what if we just abstract this guy and then we're able to just add only this, only what we need. Just that, just what we need. So we are just going to see how that works and let's just try it out. So I am actually, what did I do here? Instead of I resolved conflict and I went and made the mistake that I actually was avoiding. So let me just do git commit, I will git add all. Um, so okay, so we have that. So yeah, I'm actually using this, just using this to play around with it. It's actually not supposed to be inside this. But I don't want to start setting up a new project just for this. So I just want us to see and understand what I am trying to achieve. Okay, so first things first, you need to install Axios npm I Axios. Yeah, if you go to the documentation, where is it? This is Axios introduction. So we have npm install Axios. So you do this. I have already done that. I already have Axios inside here. Then the next thing that you would want to do is, for me, I have this folder called API. I just created it. So you could call it whatever name you want to call it. So I have this folder called API, and then I created this file, axios.js. So inside this Axios, I want to create an instance. So there are different ways of doing this. There are different ways of doing this. You can actually set this up like this. So you need to import Axios from Axios. So it's then you have like export default. You're exporting this so that you're able to use this wherever you want to use this. So if you check the documentation, this is how they have their own. So you're creating an Axios instance. And remember what I said. The reason I am doing this is so that I have a generic way of adding, let's say, the additions to the endpoint. So I'm removing what is common between all of them, and I'm able to add the additions beside it. So Coming. All right, so I'm abstracting what is common between them. And then the only thing that whoever has to use that endpoint, because if let's say we were the ones building CodeCamp elements now there'll be a base URL which is common for any route that we are going to create. So let's say, for instance, we need to do sign up. Somebody has to hit that endpoint. So somebody will be doing maybe CodeCamp LMS slash sign up. Somebody is going to that particular route, that sign up route. And that person that is working on login will be going to the login route. So you don't want people to be repeating the long URL inside their code. So you want to create an instance so that they have access to base URL here and they're able to use it. So this is me setting this up. This is me setting this up like this. So export default this. Alternatively, I could have just done this same way that they have it here. Just copy this and put it inside here. Sorry. So I have this instance. Yeah, but then you need to export this. So, but then let's just use this. So you have this export defaults, and then you have Axios.create. So Axios.create is more like a function that takes in, it has an object. You have the base URL where you put in the base URL. So remember, we are trying to do, this is what we are trying to do. So we have this fake store API.com / product. So if I copy this, and the way to know if you're doing a GET request, know if that endpoint is working, you can just come to your browser and just dump it there. And then you get to see, oh, yeah, this is what we're expecting to get. And it's actually a GET request. When you're doing fetch and you have to get all, it's actually a GET request. So I'm sure we know all the HTTP verbs, right? Can someone help me out?
Get, post, put.
Okay. And delete.
Patch.
There's more. Yeah. So, but okay. So what's the difference between put and patch? Maybe I did the same thing.
No,
For what I
Yeah, one person.
from what I
Okay.
know, the patch is the put is to change everything entirely. Like if if it was one now, you would- if to change all the properties of the object. Yeah, but the patch you just change like a particular property of the object.
Okay. Does anybody have any other controversy or a different issue? Okay, so you're actually right. When you use put changes the entire object, changes like everything, you overwrite everything. Or if you use patch just changes that specific one you want to update. That specific one. That's what happens. Patch. All right, so those are the verbs, those are the HTTP verbs. And currently we are trying to get all products. We're trying to get all products. So yeah, let me just pull this down here. I've 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 been able to create a products page. And don't mind that I've already done like a couple of things. So I will just comment this for now. Okay. So let's just start from somewhere. Let's just start from somewhere so that everybody is able to follow along. And I'll just create a file here and just dump this. So we are going back. We are going to the beginning. So
Sorry,
yeah,
I want to ask,
yep.
sorry.
Okay.
While we're doing this, can we add the whole try catch error handling thing? So we just also, or am I jumping too fast? I just said let me mention.
You're not jumping too fast. Yeah, that's the whole reason. That's why I'm doing that. Okay, so yeah, so you guys are going to help me, fetchers and fetchies. Okay, so let's say this is the products page. And on this products page, we need the information. We need a list of products. Let's say mimic, we want to mimic Conga now or Jumia. So when somebody comes to the site, you want like at first glance, you see a list of products with their prices. What do we do? What do we do? Yeah. You know, if yeah, you can raise your hand and okay, who wants to help me out? What do we do? How do we do that? How do we go about getting that? Uh, let's say we want to get products on you want to get products on this page. How do we go about doing that? I don't know if I'm asking the question the wrong way or
I think first to grab the URL.
okay, okay. Well, just go on, go on. I'm actually expecting, like, I need the steps. I need, like, one, what I need to do.
Okay, we can try. Okay, try cons URL is equals to the.
Okay, okay. Yeah, before going into what we want to implement, yeah, like, I need a mental picture of what and what I need to do.
Okay, we already have the base URL.
Okay,
If it was a regular fetch pattern we're doing, we would fetch the product and then would store it in sort of an object. We'll create an object to store everything that we're fetching so that from there we can easily pull them out if we're needing to do it one by one or everything to display one at once. I don't know if I'm
oh,
making sense.
okay. So I think, yeah, you guys actually, well, that is the implementation. That is implementation part. Now, remember, you want, when the person enters this page, first thing that you see is that those products. So that means we need to think of a React hook that will help us to call that endpoint or call that function immediately that page opens up. So that's where we come up with which function do we use to do that?
Use effect.
Okay, yeah, use
I need,
effect.
okay.
Yeah, you just use effect imports. So we use effects. Yeah, because this always run whenever we just open the page. So we need use effect. We need to now pull in. Then you now need to think of, well, your Axios. So I am just going to import Axios. Remember, I'm exporting Axios from that place. So Axios from Let me just get it. This should actually have popped up. So I'm going into API slash Axios. Right. Believing this should work. Well, okay. So I'm getting this from Axios. I'm importing Axios from API slash Axios. Then the next thing I need to do now is what next? Let's see. Okay, so I will just throw in my use effect here. So just call in the hook here, use effect snippet. Okay. And well, for some people, they will just do this thing straight up inside here. They will just call the whole function inside here. But instead, I'll just write my function. So I'll just say const get products. Okay. And okay, so we have this. And so I'll just do a CLG where I get, okay, I am old. And I will just call it inside here, get products. Okay, so I will just route to my products page. So just to test it out, I will just do my slash products. Okay, and let me just check my terminal. Yeah, so you see, I am cold. So each time I reload my page, yeah, I am cold. So anytime the person just visits this page, immediately that pops up. Now, in essence, so this is code. But then what do we want to do? We want to use Axios and play around and get the products. So what do we do here? Now remember that we're importing Axios from this API, from API Axios, which is this. And in essence, so to use this now, we're going to change because we are making an API call. So we are going to change this into an async, except you want to use a .then. So, but then, so async, and then you will now do a const response equals to awaits. So the thing about what's the difference between async and just your normal fetch and .then and so on and so forth? What's the difference?
It's more readable.
Is that why people do it? Any other person that does anybody have an answer for us?
Okay. Let me attempt it.
Okay.
I think for the async, you can go ahead with other things while you're still trying to get the API.
Okay. Yeah, synchronous stuff. Yes. So, okay. So the thing is, well, it's less wordy if you want to put it that way. Let me say it. It says more readable and all of that. Yeah, and then it also handles the whole yeah, you can do other stuff while this is trying to hit the endpoint. You can do other things. while this is actually happening in the background. So that's the whole essence of the async. So but then it also removes well, it kind of makes your work less lengthy because if you're using fetch, you have to now do a dot then now convert it to JSON, dot then you now extract the data, then you now do dot catch eventually. So they're just different steps. Whereas this one just does the whole await stuff and stores the result of this await inside here. So I will come here. I don't know if we get what I mean. So this should have been our URL, right? So where we kind of put this whole stuff. Maybe you store it inside somewhere. But instead of doing that, I will just copy this ending part, which is just unique for this page alone. And I don't know if this is supposed to be inside this, is it? Let me confirm. Where do I check? Okay. Okay, so it does all of this. Okay. Post. Yeah, okay, so I still need to pass this. So we are doing dot get, now passing in the route inside here. So that's what I did. And well, do we need any other thing here? Don't need, not passing anything into the body. So I'll just do console log. Wait. I think I actually skipped the whole try part. Okay, console.log. Console.log response. So I'll come back to that. Okay, so yeah. So eventually you see that now we're actually getting a response. So the response now has what? The config, the data, the headers, the request, the status, and so on and so forth. Now, yeah, so logically, while doing this, so to manage your errors, so let's say for instance, for some reason, doing this now, doing it this way, it still works fine because, well, the conditions are favorable. This is Canaan land. Everything is sweet. But let's say, for instance, you have a very shitty network or something, and you do not do what we have in mind to do. You don't do a try and catch to manage this, then there is actually going to be a problem. So to manage errors, we do what we call try and catch. Yes, sir. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute, guys. I'm coming. Okay, so let's continue anyway. So you do a try and catch to manage your errors, and the reason is this try, this try is meant, yeah. These people should leave that guy. So try and catch. So this your response should be inside here. So your response, so const response await Axios.get, you handle it inside here. And then your catch is, yeah, your CLG. You can just console.log your error. Well, there are more steps to this. So, but this is like at the top level. So if there is an issue, if probably, let's say, I go to the wrong route. If, for instance, I go to the wrong route immediately, I get an error message. And you see, this is products.jsx10. So let's see. So this is 10. So the reason for try and catch is so that you're able to catch errors. So the catch gets those error messages. Whereas the try is when it is successful. But within that successful now, there are still some other error management, this thing that you kind of have to do inside here. I don't know if we understand what I mean. Do we understand?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. So here now, so I'm just going to go back to my products. So you see that with what we've done here, we've abstracted that long URL. We already have the base URL, so we're just getting this particular thing. Now I am getting this response now. So to go a step further now, let's say for instance, if so we could still do something of this sort. What? So let's see this object anyway. Let's see. Back to this now. So we have this object and we have this status here. So I say if response status. So if response or status is equals to 200, yeah, because I don't know if we know these different statuses. We have 444 means not found. You have 200. 200 is success. 201 is also success too. So this is like when you interact with a backend responses that that you would expect to get. If you get a 500, you know probably it's a backend issue. So there are different status response. I think it's something that you need to look up, different status response when you're interacting with the backend so that you kind of understand what 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 is wrong. There is also there's also an there's also a status response if you are sending the wrong thing to the back end. These are things that you will eventually work with when we start working with the back end guys. So I think soon, these things are going to happen. So if the status is 200, then we want to do something. Now, another thing that we could have done here is our page is actually blank. So what if we had done const? What will we do? Our page is blank. So before this endpoint actually runs, how will we manage this?
Maybe we can have like a state, like use state or something,
The state that does what?
where there's like an initial state that has a UI now.
A UI then. Oh well, there's a UI, yes, but then I don't know okay. Let me cut the chase, sha. So we can have like even if it's a loading state, so that the person knows that oh you're expecting products, something you're expecting something there. So in essence, I would say is loading. and then we do sets is loading, right? And then we have like this use state. And the initial state is what? False. I'm supposed to have a comma here, right? Yep. So, let's see. So where do I set is loading to true here? Is it inside the try and catch or before the try and catch? What do we think?
I think inside the try.
Okay. Inside the try, I do what? Set loading true. Okay, but then okay. So let's try and develop our UI along with this now. So we have set is loading. So currently it's just showing this. And we'll just give this a class of hScreen class minimum h hScreen, right? I hope I'm correct. And I manage this thing. Well, let me just do text center. So I'll just do a paragraph. I'll do a class text center. I just want to do a simple loading stuff. So not a big deal. You guys can kill yourself with spinners and so on and so forth. It's not bad. I like it. I like spinners. So we have loading. So how am I going to show this thing conditionally now?
Yeah, we'll have like if like is loading, like open a bracket or something, a curly bracket.
Okay,
Then like is loading.
okay.
Then
And I can just do this.
since we set it to false, then is that one is going to like okay, have you? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have this. So we have this status blah blah blah. So let me just move this mic. Also not bug. Right. Inside here just for okay, so forever and ever our our loading is this. So yeah, well, this is loading. So we did not eventually stop. Even after receiving the information that we wanted, we did not stop this. Where are we supposed to end this? It's loading. If response status is this, then you want to, I hope I'm on track. Set is loading to false. And then you eventually output whatever you want to do. I hope I'm on track, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So other than that, yeah, if you actually want to do a UI for this, you can also set your it's loading to false here. Should this actually be? Should this be here? I'm still thinking if this should be inside here. Well, there's some people that keep it outside anyway. But that automatically means that, well, it's bad. Okay, so let's just follow this approach that we've taken. So then again, how do we now get our products? Because yeah, we've actually gotten our products. Our product is stored inside response.data. If you check, where am I writing? God of mercy. Response.data. So response.data, which is, you see it, we have this. If you open that response, you see it. This is data. So you're abstracting what you just need. There's this guy. So what else do we do? What else do we do? So remember our goal to show our products, display our products on this page. Yeah. What's the next thing that we need to do? Guys, what's the next thing that we need to do now? Okay.
We
Does
need to
anybody help?
convert to JSON, or is it already in JSON format?
I think it's already handled. Okay. So after that step, what next? Because we're able to already get our array of products. What do we do?
What to map through, right?
Yeah, well, do we have a state for managing that? We don't
So yeah,
have.
which is state so.
Yeah, so products and sets products. Okay, so this is initially an empty array. Okay, so when I get this, instead of console login, I want to, okay. So I think I will set my state here first. Set products. If I change that loading to false, so I don't shoot myself in the leg. So set products. I will now do response.data, right? Spell. Okay, so I do that. What's the next thing?
We have to like map our
Yeah,
products here.
sorry, I have a question.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't see us convert this into JSON. Is it that Axios does it automatically, or
Well, yes, I would like to think so. When I do so. Yeah, I like to believe that Axios does that. Without you having to convert to JSON.
Oh,
I think
I
it
don't
does.
know. I think it's a React thing, though. I don't know, sure, but the times I've used like trying to fetch APIs with React, I don't usually convert it to JSON, and then it works fine. It's only on like vanilla JavaScript that you have to like convert to JSON. But I don't
No,
know,
it's,
sure. From
it's
my own
Axios.
from my own
I
experience.
think it converts to JSON by default. From Axios,
Yeah,
Okay,
not
with
from
from
Axios,
not from
you convert. Yeah.
yeah, I
it's
think
not
to
from
convert.
React. Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, we've done this. So I'm doing it, well, I'm using this way. I have multiple lines. So if it's not loading, if not it's loading. So we want to now, yeah, so we want to now map.
So
How
a
do we
quick
do
question.
this? Okay,
So
yep.
quick question. Like rather than doing the if is loading, then show this, we could also still do the query one, right? If it's loading, then show this else, then the
Yeah,
code.
the question mark on right.
Yeah.
It's loading, do this, and do this. Uh, okay, so those are return like do this. So I really like doing this in different layers. Okay, so different layers. I mean, why was it acting up there? Well, it said to still reset. I will do a products
dot map.
So if products, yeah, before products.map, I need to check products.length is greater than 0. And products map. So I like doing like a step to confirm that this is not empty and I'm not trying to map something that does not exist. Yes. So if that happens, I will take a single product and what I do. So depending on however I want to do this, I can now return Bethlehem. And inside here now, I don't know how our UI will be, but then maybe just do a div for now.
Boss,
Yep.
I don't know if you can use a select for that, and then we get to display our product in the select. So
That
we
will
just have
still work.
a
That
drop
was,
down.
but this thing is, yeah. There's a reason why we are doing it this way because you check our API. You're expecting an ID, you're expecting a title, you're expecting price, you're expecting description, you're expecting category, you're expecting an image, there's rating, and a whole lot of things. So the problem with doing it like a select is you're going to abstract a whole lot of things. You're going to, so what we want to do is we want to display cards. That's what we are trying to achieve. You get?
Okay, yeah, don't mind. What I'm actually saying is because there's a project I'm working on. I just need a cheat code.
Come on,
Expo
come
people.
on, come and pay for these sheets. You can actually do it. You can do a select. What you just need to do is map through the options. Map through. Let's use your array. Map through the options. And depending on how you want to display it inside, you can do a div inside the option. If you have to show an image and a text, that kind of stuff, and do it inside. You need to start paying me. Okay. All right. But then I think that's how you could handle that. Okay, so we want to display cards, and honestly speaking, I don't know how this card is meant to look. Okay, so, but then let's see. I have products and this thing I'm doing here, I hope it is worth it. So I would say, what and what are we expecting? Let me just skip this thing to layers so we're expecting what an ID, right? We're expecting a title. Yep. Okay. What else?
Right.
Okay.
Description.
Okay. And it has to match you. If I can spell. Okay. What else?
Category
Okay.
and image.
Okay. Image. Okay.
Then there's a rating object.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you even do this? Okay, rating. Okay, so that's wonderful. I don't know how I'll handle that immediately, but then let's come for that. That work. I don't even know. Okay. So, all right. So rating is we now assign this to product. Okay. Right. We are expecting a const here. Yep. Okay, so all the structured elements are unused. Don't worry, we'll use you. Everything is how much are you going to bring? Okay, so we have this. First things first, for my return, I need a key, right? Which we are going to pass the ID here. So we're starting from there. What else? Let's say I need the image to be at the top. So I'm just going to do an image. SRC is just going to be image. The alts, I'm just going to use, I'll just use the title, sure.
It's description, no?
Yeah, but that description is long. Oh. Effect factor. Read. Yeah, well, okay, if you say so. All right, so I have this. What else do I want to do? Let me just create another div below here. So I need the title. So I'll just do well, all of them, they are still the same thing. Tailwind does not know which one is paragraph, which one is H1. So I'll do title inside here. And while we're at it, well, we can probably just check out what we are doing. Ew, this is serious. Okay. What are we doing? All right, so we have this. So actually want it to be like, let's say 4 columns, or we can do a grid. Who are the grid experts?
Go for
Okay, grid. Where am I? Grid, grid, calls, 4, and then we do a gap of 3. Then for this, supposed to do anything here.
reduce the size.
Yeah. So the thing is, well, this actually keeps them in check. So we have 4 items. Let me just make this 5. Okay, but then, wow, you're running amok. How do we manage our image here, people of God? Let me just finish this. Do a description. Okay. What else do we need? Just another P. Just dump everything here. Category. The the price. Yeah, so this is the tricky part. So there's a rating, there's an object. Rating, that's what? That work. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we have this. Interesting. Let's see if our grid something. Well, we have our grid gap. Okay. Those are our images. So wonderful. Who are our image experts here? How do we handle this? Okay, just a moment.
Okay. I have a question, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's about the flex and the grid. Most times I still find it difficult on what to use. Yeah, because left for me, I would have used the flex, but I don't know why grid
Okay.
is actually best for this. I don't. So, but left for me, I would have tried the flex. So I don't know
Yeah,
why we're actually using grid here instead of the flex.
yeah, okay. So in essence, if you're using grid gives you like, well, it helps you just wrap at once. All you need to do is just specify how you want it to be. The flex, I think you need to be sort of explicit on how you want it to flow. So you need to tell it to do the whole flex wrap if it is more than this and all of that. But with your grid, automatically, once it's 4 columns, it knows that, well, my guy, step down and continue. So, is there any other
Okay,
particular
so
thing?
for that correction you asked me to make, I
Mm-hmm.
can just use the grid instead of the flex and just make it because you asked me to make it 1/3.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can
And
just use the
just,
grid and then do column three, but
yeah, you can just do column. Work out. All right. So, yeah, for my image, I've got to go and copy cheats anyway. So, okay. At least it's not shouting in my face. I gave it a height of 40. A height of 40 is what? That's 160 pixels height. I gave it W full. I gave it object scale down. That's why I have it like this. But then, well, stuff is still wordy. So let me still do this my card. I'll just give it a border. And I'll just say border range. I don't know why I'm picking this color. Don't ask me why. And I just want to do a rounded flap. Rounded MD. And I want to give it some padding. So P4. What else do I want? Yeah, uh, so yeah, we have all of this. I can eventually go on here and just put a dollar price here. Yeah. Then this rating, you can play around with this to show stars instead of this. I don't know if can somebody attempt that? Eh, Well, I know I've done it, sure. I've done it before. But this is the rating. Let's say, for instance, we want to show this is what people are rating it. We want to show stars instead of what we have here. And moreover, this text is too wordy. I want to chop off like part of this. I want this to be, if it's like, you check this my own. I didn't even put that. There's actually one line. So this stuff. So I did something like this. So I can actually add, oh, you need to have an account before you can add it. Yeah, so I played around with this at a particular time and I was able to achieve something of this. So, but then we're still on our way. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions so far? I actually need somebody that will help us to achieve. We want to use stars here instead of what we have here. So what can we do?
All right, we can.
Uh-huh.
We can use the React icons.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
So we'll just install the library and then import the icon.
Okay. Okay, so let's see how that plays out. Okay. Sorry, a moment. Okay, so let's see. So we have that. So let's see, React icons. So we actually need two sets of stars. Yeah. Um, where do we even check? Font also.
Just search for where you have search icons, search for stars.
Okay, so okay.
Abi, we
This
need
cannot.
three for the one that is
Okay.
up.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we can manage. Can we really manage that? We
You
have
can scroll down. We have a star that will fit in, smaller star.
there was size as well. Okay, so is there a particular one? I think we can actually set the size ourselves. So I don't know. I'm usually inclined to FA.
I used one earlier. So for the rating, so I was looking for trying to find a very small star that will fit with the rating.
Okay, so strap. Okay, so I can just use BS. Bootstrap icons. I'll just use BS this and BS. So star fill and the normal plain star. So I'm just going to import here. Import this from React icons. I think we'll just use this to round up. If we're able to achieve it. Oh, you guys are bad guys. So you should be able to do that. I go. Okay. Okay, so um let's see. So I've imported that VS field and then I need this other normal stuff. Okay. So probably we'll think of the in between. Okay. Okay. So let's see how we'll achieve that.
Okay, so sorry, the React icons, you're going to end it with a /bs.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so because we are getting from BS, so I just do the whole BS. Okay. Let's see. So we've gotten that, but then yeah, how do we achieve this? We achieve this. So the way I would, okay, let's think about it. How can we achieve this? See, what we're getting is, okay, actually I have this written, so I am able to do this and and get this. So I kind of narrowed this down to this number, and then we're able to do this. So how do we achieve this in our own? Yes, I need JavaScript people. JavaScript, I've entered JavaScript. Mm-hmm. Does anybody know what to do? Okay, so let's see. I want to, if I want to do the whole math method on this thing, what do I do? If I want to round it up, the floor, is floor better? Okay, so what was it before? I floored it. Let me just keep 2 copies of it. So I'm able to. These guys, you should think, oh, think on my behalf. Oh, this is 4.1. Well, I am rounding it up. Rounding it up. All right, so I have this. So now how am I going to balance it out? How am I going to display this thing? Okay, so we have the rates. So we are going to say, okay, supposed to be,
I don't know.
okay,
If
so
it's JavaScript, I'm thinking we'll have a for loop where
yeah,
I is the rating,
mm,
then it displays the number of a particular staff for I. I don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah. So we actually need, we need to map, but can you map out of nothing? Map out of nothing. Okay. So this is rate. Yeah, rate is this. Hmm. Okay. That one don't joke. Okay, so let's see here. Billing. contributors coming from. Okay, so I think I'll just let me just peel back. Thinking and it's not coming to mind. Let me just find it. Uh, Nice. Right. Hmm. Okay. So I'm trying to find out what I did, what magic I did with voodoo. But I know we have to map. We have to do like, so let's see. Really? So that is not achievable with React. With Vue, you can just do a map even on an empty distance. Ah, okay. I think that this is actually a Vue project. That is why it is pretty straightforward to achieve. I also a V4 and able to achieve this. React. What's going on? Maybe that's why it's not coming straight to mind. Okay. Um, how can we use a number to map? Okay. This is something. Yeah, I'm seeing something here. Okay. So you do array dot from.
There is a map below. There's a second answer.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So let's do this. So we're supposed to do this. Our maths dot round and rating and so on. going to replace this 10. Okay. Then we want to map. And we are just returning. We are closing this guy back. What are we returning? We are doing we're just returning the star, right? And we need to add a key here. Key will just be this I. Any other thing. Let's see. And okay. How many? All right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so this is 5. Okay, this is 5. This is this. Okay, okay. So it actually works as intended. So, but then I need to do class of 3. Yep. So we have this. This should actually be field. Okay, so we've done this. The other thing that we need to do is we can also do the same thing. Okay, so but then instead of this now, I will do 5. Right? Instead of, so this is 5 minus whatever this is rounded. So if it is 5 and it's rounded into 5, so 5 minus 5 will give us 0. And all this should just be okay. Right. We can eventually give this some classes. X. I don't know. Any color. The colors are not coming to mind. Yeah.
Let's give yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Those should be
Yeah,
white
just
now.
give me like
They are empty.
5 minutes. Yeah, give me like that. Okay. All right. All right. Isachi, give me what?
Those should be white now since they are empty.
Yeah, I think it will just take the outline. So let me change this one. All right. So this is this. This is this. So a guy is going to help me out to complete whatever it is. So why another thing I need is I want to shorten this text. Barry, for what? Don't
Well,
see cheat.
there's this project I'm working on. Yes, so thank you. Please continue.
Jesus. Okay. Oh. As in, Austin, tell her we ain't gonna pay money. No, but all the same, it's all good. So there are a couple of things I need. I need on this thing now. So I don't know whoever wants to do that, but if you can actually pick up, uh, if I click on this card, I'm able to see just information about this card on a separate page. Yeah, I think maybe someone can just pick that up. And then I also need to like shorten this. I don't need this block of this thing. So if you shorten this text for me, just put an ellipsis so that someone knows that, well, we have other stuff here. What again do we need to do here? I think that is the basic thing. That's just the basic thing for now. So I just wanted us to know how we can use Axios. So you can also use it to do your, what do they call it, posts, or yeah, you can use it to do your posts, your deletes, and so on and so forth. So maybe we can also try out delete too on this thing. So these are things that we will eventually get into doing. So I just needed us to understand how to achieve this, and it's all good. This star stuff, I have actually not. I think I don't know if I tried it out one time ago, but I know with Vue it's relatively easy. You can just loop over things and you give a specific number. But you React, yeah, you have to create an array and then do this. So it's actually nice to know this. So I don't know, somebody can actually help me and work on. Austin, do you need assistance on that landing page? I see that it is very long.
Not really. I think I'm almost done, Seth. I'm having light issues. That's why I've not pushed. I think I'm almost done with it.
Okay. Okay, so no problem. So I think that. So but then if you are free and you want to attempt working on the single page, because I know that single page is actually tricky. So why I say it's tricky is you need to create a route that is going to accept this ID. This is an ID. And remember that each product here has an ID. So when you're clicking on a product, you have to send this link across and pass the ID. And then when you get to this page, you're going to use params, I think. Yeah, you should use params. Extract this ID here, and then you can use it to make your API call here. So you do a product slash this, and you work with that. I don't know. Is anybody confused about what I said? Are we lost? Who wants to work on it for me? Who wants to attempt it? You attempt it and just send a pull request. That's what I mean. I'll push you, just attempt it, send pull request. I will give comments.
Because what are we working on?
I want to be able to see a single product. Well, I didn't do it on this one, sha. I want to be able to see a single product. If I click on this, I want to see it on a separate page, just displaying information only about this thing. We have the route, sorry, we have the endpoint.
Okay, I can actually attempt it too.
Okay. So just do it. I was explaining how you could go about it. You need to create a dynamic route. So then you need to create links. So that means we are going to wrap each of these with a link and pass an ID. Let me just do that at once here. So it's not confusing. So instead of this ID, let me just change this to link. I'll just do 2. So I will just do, should this be a string? Just do template literals slash products slash, yeah, so this is actually just going to go to this. Let me show you, let me narrate a bit. So if I click on this, see, it will go to this route, and then you use params and get it inside. I don't know. Should I, let me leave it for you to attempt it. So you just use params, extract this guy, extract this one, and you can now use it to do your fetch inside here and work with
If
it.
I do this thing though,
Boss, I know the tick twice, so I know the reason number.
All right. Let me just that time is fast spent. So let me just try and do that. So inside the app.jsx, I will just duplicate this. And I think I've not showed you guys before. So you just do this, and I am expecting an ID. So that means this is the dynamic this thing I'm going to be checking for. So I save that. So if I do this now, this is what comes inside this page. So, and then this is not what should be here. So let me just create a page for it. I'll just call it single products JSX. So I'll just RAFCE inside here. And then inside here, I'm actually supposed to get use param. Use params. Okay. Inside here now. Well, first things first. Let me just continue. So, cons ID equals use, this sort. I just want to lay the params on the page. Okay, so let's go back. Inside where? Okay, inside app.jsx, I will just do single products. Nothing is showing. Okay, objects are not. Okay, so I think that use params has more than this thing. So instead of me doing this, let me console log this. it has an ID. So it's an object. So I can change this to a better name. Ah, let me just say item. So inside here, I'll just do item.id. Why is it acting up like that? Okay, items. Yeah, and I was console logging. Let me do this. Why are you playing with me? Okay, so this gives us an object. So why is it? Okay, B is not coming on initial render. So if I say items, if items exists, so items ID, else question empty string. Okay, so that is it. So initially it was just playing around. So here, what you're just going to do is you're going to do the whole fetch thing again. You're just going to do the same fetch that we did here. So just get so I just say products, get set products. Instead of this, I will change this to template literals. I'll just do dollar. I do this. Just be an object. So items. I don't even know if I should do that conditional stuff. Hmm. Products nomenclature. Use states. Use uh use effect. Okay, so is it asking for a dependency? The other one did not ask for dependency. Okay, so where do we want to do this? Okay, so I did not import Axios. Okay, so let me just see CLG. So let me see if it breaks. I actually have data here. Yeah, and I actually have that object here. So I'm storing this inside here, and I'm able to just so I'm able to set the product to this data that I just got here. is an object actually. Category, man, this, da, da, da. So what I can just do is instead of this thing I'm doing here, I can just do if we have if there is a product, then just want to have a div. Well, in essence, let me just copy this card. So instead of a link, I'll just return this to a div. Photo. Okay. Then I have to now do my products that image. Well, there is a better way of doing this. So it's just doing a hurried meal here. Yeah, what have I broken? Okay. Okay, so this div, okay, and this. Okay, then I need to bring my icons. Okay, so great. All right, so we have this key created here, and I think I'll just do. Hope I'm right. This should be in front. Optional chaining. Okay, 45. So this just checks that, well, I don't have invalid array length. Okay, so let me just remove this rate stuff. All right, so this is it. But the other one, probably something that we need to figure out. So if I go back, I click, okay. So that is the stuff.
So I better push this to move back.
All right. Git status. Git add or git. Okay, so okay, so I'm actually just going to do a PR and push. Okay. We should make out time and go and visit. Yeah, what's his name? Uh, Lucas. I'm always mixing his name.
What's wrong, Lucas?
We should go meet, visit him. He's doing his child's this thing to Derby.
Boss, at where?
Is that? Mm-hmm. Look away for my DM. Where did you even post? Okay, Ibadan. See bienvenue, yeah. Yeah, Lukman, that's his name. I'm always calling Lucas. All right, so let me just I've opened this pull request. I will just merge it. This is where this dev. Okay, yeah, I'll just merge it. All right, you guys have access to it. So you pull dev, you get to see it there. You can help me out with one or two things here. Maybe style reducing this number of text. I need ellipses instead of this, and then you can format this properly for me. Do a pull request. So that is that. So I think this is where we'll draw the curtain. Yeah, so that is yeah. So we'll stop there. Right. Let's just have a good one. Yeah, you guys should keep practicing. So for those people that have not done pull request, I'm still expecting, yeah, pull request and all. David, how are you doing? Look, are they busy here? They cook. All right, guys. So let's have yeah, we'll meet next week. Yeah.
So, boss, for the promotion and grading, when are you going to start? Hello. Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Can you hear me? Barry?
Yes, I can hear you. I was asking about the grading and then
Yeah,
promotion.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Uh, I'm saying that, sorry.